I just couldn't resist. £80 later, I pre-ordered Call of Duty Infinite Warfare purely because I get to play Modern Warfare Remastered early. It's a cost I gladly pay because, in my opinion, Modern Warfare is the best Call of Duty game. In fact, I place it up there with Doom, Quake and Wolfenstein as one of the best first-person shooters ever to release, and one of the best games I have ever played. The highest praise I can heap on this remastered edition is that it looks and feels like how I remember the original looking and feeling. The visual upgrades are significant. It's one of the nicest looking games I've played all year. And it allows me to play one of my favourite games exactly how I remember it through those rose tinted glasses. And oh my, it is good. This isn't because of the realistic setting or because you get to shoot thousands of terrorists. That's a conversation for another time. It's because it is full of amazing design elements that often go without praise, and that's something I want to talk about now. The main reason I love Modern Warfare Remastered is because, more than any other Call of Duty game, it makes sense. Well, as much sense as any of these games can really make anyway. There's a plot there about incredibly bad men who have incredibly big weapons they aren't afraid to use. They're backed up by an incredibly large army, and you play as an incredibly well-trained soldier who is given the incredibly difficult task of taking them down. It's pretty incredible. But more than that, you're not a solo superhuman killing machine. You're human, a very well-trained human soldier, and you act as such. The missions where you are surrounded or deep behind enemy lines aren't about cutting a bloody swath through wave after wave of enemy forces. You act like a soldier, rather than a superhero. As the player, you're often guided away from actually killing people. If you can complete an objective without killing somebody, you're often actually encouraged to do so. It also balances its ludonarrative dissonance so that the threat is equally balanced against the force that is used against it. Well, more often than not anyway. Alternatively, when you're on the offensive, Modern Warfare is smart about the way it's designed. When you attack the house to rescue Nikolai, Gaz switches off the lights and you enter the house wearing the night vision goggles, giving you a massive advantage. This game isn't about kicking in doors and triggering slow motion set pieces or trampling through a base in a mech suit. It's about putting you in set pieces that make you feel deadly and intelligent, and that's incredibly gratifying. That's the trend throughout Modern Warfare, and even more so in the remaster. Throughout the game there are player-shaped holes that tease you into them and guide you through the chaos. Head into a firefight and your fellow troops take cover in sensible locations, but there's always cover for you to take too. And your companions always take cover around your position. Unlike in other first-person shooters where NPCs will literally push you out into oncoming fire to reach their pre-scripted cover locations, these soldiers change their behaviour based on your location. If you happen to take cover behind a, let's say, dumpster, then you won't find another troop trying to take the exact same place. They'll go somewhere else. You're also very rarely the first man through the door in Modern Warfare, but when you are, the AI backs you up in sensible locations. Levels are designed to allow multiple progression paths within the linear corridor, and the game adapts to your approach, sending your foes running if you manage to flank them. And that's another reason why I love Modern Warfare. Most firefights are like a struggle for supremacy. More so than any other Call of Duty game, Modern Warfare doesn't just challenge you to be faster and more accurate, it challenges you to be smarter than the enemy. They're peeking through windows on the second floor of a building, or shooting down at you from the rooftops. Modern Warfare is often about outmaneuvering obstacles, choosing the right cover, and picking your moments to strike. Then there's the variety. It's not all running and gunning, starting at the very first mission, training at the base, to the iconic Chernobyl sniper mission, and the air support section, raining explosives down on an exposed group of friendlies, mixed with the hectic back and forth firefights through tight streets that are constantly changing the pace. It's hard to get bored of the kill corridors when they are so interspersed with more strategic, set-piece driven levels. I also need to mention that Modern Warfare, cranked up to the veteran difficulty, is a challenge. It's a real test. I strolled through Advanced Warfare on its toughest settings. I blitzed ghosts in a day. Even the last two Black Ops games were a walk in the park, but not Modern Warfare. World at War and Modern Warfare are brutally difficult on the veteran difficulty, using grenade rain to prevent you from sitting in cover for too long, and making it so that just a single shot can fell you. The music which you are listening to right now is sublime. I expect that my love of the score is based heavily in nostalgia, as memories of sitting in the multiplayer lobbies filled with adrenaline come flooding back. Still, it's an iconic soundtrack that's instantly recognisable to anyone who played Modern Warfare religiously upon its initial release. As you can probably tell, I freaking love Modern Warfare, and the remaster, which is more of a total rebuild than a simple spit shine, is the perfect way to celebrate it. It's the perfect storm in a way. A brilliant game that comes together with a heavy dose of nostalgia at the right time, portrayed the way you remember it, and not the way it actually was. The characters, Price and Gaz, the incredibly fluid gunplay, the tension of creeping across irradiated fields, and the feeling of camaraderie when you helo in to help a trapped squad. Modern Warfare had it all. Modern Warfare was my Game of the Year in 2007, and it's a strong contender for my Game of the Year 2016.